These are our stories from the driver's seat. Our opinions only, not our employers or school districts. Student safety and privacy always come first. So no names, faces, routes, or, you know that kid, details ever make it on the podcast.
You're listening to School Bus Banter, Episode 6. I'm Joe.
I'm Jerry. And today we're going to talk about two stories in the news that, one is a recap from the last one we talked about and a big update from that one. And another one, unfortunately, a kid fell out of the back of the bus, and which I've never thought about. And Joe has a story about that. So are we excited for this? Are we?
The energy in the room is
top notch.
Is what?
Spicy.
I don't have the word for it.
Spicy.
That's good. I did have a good hair day.
Okay.
So maybe I am spicy.
And she's due for a shower, and we just had a meeting for something else. So we've seen a lot from each other. So before we jump in, go to shitballs. I forgot the email.
That's good. That's a good email.
I almost said schoolbusbanter@gmail.com. And then we have a Facebook link in the description. Hopefully you can click it and join, because we'd love to have you. This podcast is a passion project for both of us. We absolutely love talking about it because we live it every day, and it's just an amazing way. And I know we keep talking about this and gushing about it, but it's such a really fun way to have an outlet.
It is. Said it before. It's sharing information about just trying to have a better behaviored bus, really, or just having fun with it. I hope that most people that do this job are in it for the right reasons, and that's, for the kids. So I don't know if you get something out of it.
You're not in it for the money, because I'm making freaking bank over here.
You bank? Yeah.
Bank. Okay. Story one, if you remember what we talked about last time, there was a driver that distributed candy. Well, here's the thing. The title says candy, but that wasn't the issue. She distributed bags of candy with different religious messages in it in regards to, I think it was Jewish and Christian and nothing, I think. And if you want to hear our opinion on that, we're not going to go over that now. Go back to the last episode titled "When Safety Checks Fail: Lessons from Two School bus headlines." Sorry, I can't read. If you haven't figured that out, I can't read, so that's why I'm a bus driver. But so yeah, that basically what happened. She got fired. She filed a lawsuit saying that she asked the kids for permission, asked the parents. It sounded, in my opinion, was a kind of a lot of BS. I know Joe had a little bit of different opinion on it, but
I was mad that they made a decision to allow her to pass the candy out, and then they reversed that decision. So that was what I was mad about. If she also said that you didn't have to take the candy.
Right.
So if you have all of these options, what's wrong, right? But
here's the only thing I think you and I both missed last time, and no one's wrong in that. That was her affidavit in the lawsuit. So that wasn't, she was saying that was factual, but that hadn't been proven.
Yeah.
So like the fire or the no fire and then the fire. So we're going to listen to the news and a legal expert talk about kind of what I talked about in the last episode, the church and state. They don't actually use those terms. And then I will tell you what the district said went on, and I think you'll be surprised.
Mattawan Consolidated Schools wants the federal court to drop a lawsuit that's filed by a former bus driver last year.
That driver was fired after giving out candy bags to students that at times had Christian messaging.
News 8's Josh Sanchez has a breakdown after looking through this case with a law professor.
Sarah Robinson claims that her freedom to exercise her religion was violated by Mattawan Consolidated Schools. However, the district says she was acting in her capacity as a public school employee. Among Robinson's 10 charges against the district and superintendent, 3 are on religious discrimination and free exercise of religion. Part of the school's response says that giving out candy to students with Christian messaging while also performing her official duties as a bus driver exposed the district to liability under the Establishment Clause.
I think they actually have a pretty good argument there.
Frank S. Ravitch is a professor at Michigan State University and has expertise with the Establishment Clause, a provision protecting the freedom of religion in the Constitution. Kennedy v. Bremerton School District has shaken the landscape for the Establishment Clause, yet some of the cases cited weren't clearly overturned. It has provided some tests that can back up the district's argument, like the history and tradition approach.
To the extent that there is a history or tradition of, related to school employees doing religious things vis-a-vis elementary school students, the history shows that it's been unconstitutional since the first time it was considered.
The district's response says there's a, quote, constitutional obligation to avoid violating the Establishment Clause. While Robinson said in her lawsuit that students had a choice to pick a bag that had a religious message or one that didn't, Ravitch says there's still an issue, citing the recent Supreme Court case Mahmoud v. Taylor. That centered around parents getting a religious exemption from LGBTQ plus inclusive curriculum, yet the Free Exercise Clause can apply here.
This isn't her private speech by herself. That would be protected. She's giving it to the children, and there's always going to be pressure. And this recent Supreme Court decision, it was a free exercise case, but in that decision, they talk about how impressionable elementary school age children are.
I reached out to Robinson, who told me via text that right now she's been advised not to make a comment. According to online court records, she has a month to respond to the district. In Kalamazoo, Josh Sanchez, News 8.
Okay. Did you take all that in? I know it was a lot of legal
Big
jargon.
words.
Big words, yeah. But basically what it says, it's considered, you can't do that, right? It's unconstitutional. They've never been able to really prove it, that someone can do that. It's not, they're not violating the free speech, because she's acting as a public school employee.
In the article that I was reading on it, it sounded like she did this before.
Yeah. Okay.
And they talked to her about it.
So do you want to jump into that part?
Yeah, let's just dive in.
Okay. So yes, let me see. I highlighted things. Document says she met with transportation director following the incident during her afternoon elementary route in October. She was questioned by the director and found to have distributed unapproved religious material to students. That was followed by a directive to not distribute the material while she's working on school property or in a bus. Again, on Friday, December 20, you distributed more religious material on your bus to students, specifically exclude a child based on their beliefs, causing discomfort to the excluded child and family, the letter said. And then January, she did it again.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's done it 3 times.
Tables have turned.
Yes. So what we're reading there is what the district's response to her lawsuit. So I feel like we kind of got in the weeds with, like, they're not, the news wasn't reporting what they found. They were reporting what the lawsuit stated, what she's suing about. And then this is the counter from the district of, like, no, we told you 3 times not to do it. You don't have any space. She's not going to win.
We wouldn't even be talking about this article had she just not attached anything to the candy. Just pass out the candy.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It was candy's fine. It was the messages that she put with it. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because when we talked about, both you and I, our religious, beliefs last episode, but as far as they told her don't do it, they told her don't do it, and she still did it. So now I have a problem with that. So not only I'm just going to take that reverse of the decision away, and it was like 3 strikes, you're out. I mean, if you're told not to do something, you tell your kids on the bus, right? Yeah. Sit down, right up. Stop screaming, right up.
Well, that's the thing too. She said that in the lawsuit, she never mentioned any of that. That's the funny part. Like, she didn't mention that they told her no. Like, what did she think? Like, I'm surprised a lawyer took this, unless, they only took it based on what she said. You know what I mean? They thought, I have a case. But now that the district responded, my guess is it gets dropped because,
Also, it sounds like when they told her, no, stop doing that in the beginning, they pulled video footage. And then this 3rd time when she was fired, they did not use video footage.
I think it was reversed.
That's another.
I think it was
Oh.
reversed. The last time they did have video, but it doesn't matter. I thought
Yeah,
so.
either way. Video came in. Video was a part of it.
Yeah, at some point. But again, in her I don't know what you call it, her lawsuit, it didn't say, it said there was no video. So she's basically lying. And I don't know. I smelled, I had said too,
Yeah.
I actually, again, I wouldn't rat that employee out for doing it because I'm not so passionate about the church and state that I'm really going to rile my, department up over this, but I would be annoyed by it. I'm not going to I don't,
especially if they told her stop doing it.
yeah,
Stop doing it.
I feel like it's not, I have no problem snitching on somebody, but I actually don't even feel that snitchable. I'd be like, whatever, if they're going to do that. Snitchable. Is that a word? Did I just make up a word?
Yep, I think so. Good job.
I wouldn't rat them out. Well, I shouldn't say rat now. I tell my kids on the playground not to say that. They'll say, nope, snitches get stitches. I'm like, no, you need to report stuff, but here I am saying I'm not going to snitch. But I just don't think it's worth the fight or the issue that it would cause personally. But
yeah, I mean, just take the messages off and give out candy.
Yeah. Well, now she's now she can give her message at trick or treat time because she's not going to be driving a bus for that for that school.
Nothing would be worth that. I mean, this job, if they told me to stop, I'd be devastated. Or I would say why? I wish I could, but I would do it because I'm not going to pursue anything that,
Yeah, you don't want to get fired. I mean, you have a obligation to follow it's just like even though it's a public school, you have to follow the rules. Like if you worked in a factory or if you worked at McDonald's, if they said, hey, please don't do that anymore, you continue to do it, you're going to get written up and eventually you're going to get fired.
Yeah, I think we're still going to hear more from this.
Yeah. My guess is she was a pain in the ass anyways, and they were probably glad to get rid of her.
Oh, no. You don't know that.
Yes. Stamp it. Well, yeah. Well, let's try to keep our eyes and ears open for the response.
Yeah, and if anybody listening too has, something to say about this or can find us out more information.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Find us.
Join the Facebook group, or if you're not on Facebook, which is I totally get, send us an email. What do you guys think? So, all right. The second article was a child had been hospitalized. I think this was in New York. He was rushed to the hospital falling out the rear door of a moving school bus. They got a call that the report of an unconscious pedestrian near the street. Basically, they determined, the cops, that the child had unintentionally activated the rear door release while riding in the moving school bus, causing the child to fall from the bus on the roadway. The car behind it, fortunately, was able to stop and not hit the kid, because that kid would have been done.
Yep.
And not that I like this article, but I never even thought about this, and it brings up such a good point. There's no security on those back. I mean, it's a lever, and that's it. There's no lock.
My lever, I don't know about your door, but my lever is easy. Mine pulls up easy because I open it every day, but it's easy. And when you go, that door swings open so fast, it's weighted. It it wants to open.
Well, especially if the bus is moving down the road, the wind's going to catch that and slam it open. So, God, I just never even thought about that. But
It goes with. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I've never had any child anything attempt to open it. Have you had that happen at all?
I did, but I'm going to go back a second and just say you state your expectations, and the kids are only touching that stuff during your evac.
Right.
What do you call those? Those practice evacs that we do, evacuations.
Evacuation drills.
Yeah, all my kids love those days. If we get to school early, I'm like, okay, who's sitting by a red-handled window? Let's make sure everybody knows how to open these up. And all my kids can do it. All my K through 4 we practice, and 5 through 12 we practice 4, 5, 6 times a year. And I have a midday run that I do. It's just a shuttle. I bring kids from an elementary school to another school. And these are special needs kids. So I have not practiced a lot of evac or anything with them. It's just mainly highs and Pokemon. They love that. So I find something to relate to them, but they do like to sit by these windows with the red handle. And we were going down a road, and when that emergency buzzer goes off, my heart just like it was on the floor.
Right.
So it was like, what's going on with the bus? I've got these kids on here and, 3 adults, I think. And we're all looking around, and sure enough, just one of them just started opening up random windows, and one of them had that red handle that was the emergency buzzer. And I think it scared that student too, but not enough to not do it again a couple minutes later.
Oh boy.
Because we go running and, going down the road, and it happens again. And this time when I looked back, the students just looking at me and doing it at the same time. So now I know, I'm like, okay, now the student's just thinking he's got me, seeing if it's funny or not. But I had one of the teachers put him in a seat that does not have a red handle, but he sure as heck would have done it 3, 4, 5 more times given the opportunity. It scared me a lot. Like I was, because those those pop. If you go down a road and it bumps so much that some of mine will just pop right up too.
Yeah, I mean, your bus is a little bit older than mine, but I did drive a bus where very regularly the kids had to close it. And I'm telling you, that buzzer, that is loud. It's like loud. You don't miss that, if it's a window or a rear door. I think I had it one time, like last month, somebody like their backpack caught on a window one. And I'm like, okay, who touched it? And they're all like, not me. That was my older kids. And I'm like, not me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But somebody just close the handles. Everyone grab a handle and close it. And then it went off. But it is terrifying. Thanks for this story. I'm now terrified of one of my kids doing it. But I also want to commend you on, I've learned so much about the way you do things. And I feel inadequate with the amount of like talking I do. I mean, I'm a different person than you. And so I've never said, you said my expectations, we don't touch these. And I've literally never said that.
Well, my evac speech has grown over the years.
Okay.
Again, when you're in year 4. So year 4, I was just reading off the piece of paper that we get from, the office that says, here's what you got to do. But I have added to that based on experiences that have happened to me. So if I want to scare the kids a little bit by saying, you open that back door, you're falling out, then I'm going to say it. Go with the worst and hope for the best.
No, I just appreciate, again, we're gushing about the podcast, but I appreciate having these conversations. And that's what we hope to like someone else listens to. And it's like, God dang, I need to freaking mention that. Because as much as it's annoying, who wants to have a kid fall out and get run over by a car? I mean, or a bus behind the other one. But that brings up a good question. Should that be able to be locked?
Right.
So I drive old people around, and our buses actually just have a little lever that's a lock and unlock, and then you grab the handle. So it's not a key. It's not, but it gives the security a little bit. Like if you are somewhere and you park the bus, you can actually lock that, but ours can't.
No, and that would just be like a 2-step process instead of a 1-step process.
Yeah, and it's literally I can do it like this: click, handle. Like it's not like you're like it's not hard at all. And I'm not sure why they don't have. Now the kid could do that as well, but at least it's 2 steps. Maybe put a buzzer on that lock, so they
put the buzzer on the lock.
So as soon as that hits that, you're like, what the hell's going on? You're looking up, you're pulling over. You know what I mean? I guess it's one more step before they open the back door.
It goes, I guess, with seatbelts on the bus. And, when we're talking about safety equipment and everything, but it would have to be tested. And more kids may have to fall out the back door before we get a lock on there. Right? I mean, we're not proactive in this country, so we wouldn't do it before.
Right.
Let's do it after something bad happens.
Right. Yeah, no, I think I bet other professionals and even people that engineer buses, I bet they've talked about it. But I think the problem is, especially since it's in the public sector, to change something like that is you got to like write a bill. Like, I feel like it's not like if you your own business, like you'd be like, okay, this is what we're doing now because this seems safer.
No, you can't modify the school buses. No.
Right. Exactly. And I don't know if a private company could do that, but like, yeah, you can't just willy nilly decide this is what we're going to do.
Right.
So yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I've never thought about. Thank you for having a new terror to think about. Honestly, if you hear that buzzer, you should look up and then try to figure if you can pull over. Like, up, what's going on, assess real quick, and then turn your blinker on and pull over because that's probably the safest option.
Yeah. We have to do everything else very quickly. So add that one to your list of stuff you got to do while you're driving a school bus.
Right.
And listening to the radio and listening for the kids. Yeah. I love it. Right.
So, yeah.
I love it.
Anything else you want to add about this? We're trying to do the news because I think we have a lot to talk about during our regular episodes. So,
no, those were two pretty good videos. Yeah, those were two good ones to, again, if anybody has any information that, needs to put their 2 cents in on these ones, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I feel like when we get done with these, we need to be like, okay, what are 2 actionable things that we can do from these stories? Like story number 1 or like story number 2 with the thing. Hey, Jason, maybe when during evac, let's talk about we don't touch these. Like, I feel like that's very proactive. And then I think the first one with the candy, don't put religious messages in there, or just don't force anything on your kids, I guess. Yeah. Is that too vague or?
Yeah. And again, though, let's go back to if she wasn't forcing, because we don't know. She said she wasn't. Well, so if she wasn't forcing, that's one thing. But just keep everything so generalized. Just a sucker. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Be happy with just that.
Yeah. And yeah.
Then when you're not working, go ahead and do what you need to do after that. Agreed.
Keep everything equal for everybody. And it's 2026. We got to be careful. We can't offend anybody. So we just got to keep it on the straight and narrow, folks. So.
Yep. That's good.
All right.
All set, Jer?
All set, Joey Joe.
Thanks for listening. Same bus.
Same kids.
Different stories.
Get on the mic and do it again. What the fuck are you doing? I'm not even looking at you and I couldn't hear the last part.
My ass hurts sitting. I don't have a good chair.
Oh, okay. We're talking about delicate asses now again. Yeah. That's a callback.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Thanks for listening. Same bus.
Same kids.
Different stories.
Bye.
Bye.